This is our country. We're the American people. Doesn't matter if you came over here 100 years ago or 20 years ago and you're a citizen, you're an American. My family, on my father and mother's side, two of the people on the Mayflower on my mom's side, one on my father's side, my family just all over the place in the Revolutionary War, all over the place in the battle for Texas independence. The Ayers family on my mom's side raised Colonel Travis's son. Both my grandfathers fought in World War II, were enlisted in World War II. One of them flew B-17s over Europe. And it makes me fundamentally angry to have the Southern Poverty Law Center, mainstream media, the ADL, knowingly lying and saying I'm calling for killing police and military and IRS. And it makes me even more angry to know that they're setting up the American people, the good American people, finally starting to wake up across the political paradigm. Congress has a 10% approval rating. Nancy Pelosi has a 9% approval rating. The Republicans have a low approval rating. The people know that we're going under to fraud, just like Mexico and countless other third world nations have fallen to it. And it's 100% clear that the government and its mouthpieces are saying that the American people are basically terrorists if they criticize anything. And to be singled out with Ron Paul and Judge Napolitano and others is an honor. But it's also dangerous because they single me out more than even Ron Paul. More than anybody else, they single Alex Jones out and they slander me, they lie about me, they do whatever they want, they defame me. And they're such liars that on the surface it shouldn't matter. But it matters because the ADL and Southern Poverty Law Center are the main trainers of law enforcement. They teach them how to be political, secret police operatives, and these cops believe the crap they're being given. A lot of them do. They believe it. And the system is setting up a war between the American people and the American people that happen to be police officers in the military. And they're openly saying they want to use the military against the American people. I'm going to play a clip coming back where they call us seditious and that we should be arrested. And Napolitano saying people better watch their rhetoric. You know, she just walked through Oklahoma City, 15 years after, when that was 100% a government operation. We've been covering that with eyewitnesses and others earlier in the week. But the fact that the ADL is calling for law enforcement action against us is a new level. And the fact that the Democratic Party operatives have been caught with Nazi signs and things trying to demonize mainline American citizens so that we'll be at each other's throats in a race war is despicable and is illegal and is so off the chart, so obvious that the system is preparing to stage all sorts of provocateur actions and blowing up federal buildings, blowing up IRS buildings, attacking military installations. You're going to see more of this perpetrated by these people. They're speaking to the most dumbed-down segments of society that are kind of halfway paying attention to the TV when they're cooking dinner, or halfway paying attention to the TV in the coffee room at work, or halfway reading headlines, where FBI says homegrown, the biggest threat. Obama says we're going to be nuked. Homegrown may be involved. Government says Tea Party's racist. Government says, they're really setting this up. And you have to ask yourself, what is the message that we're putting out that has them engaging in this wild of an action? It shows that the system's going for broke. They've committed so many crimes, done so much evil, that they know the people are now getting wise to what they're doing, so they've got to stage some events to clamp down on free speech, to arrest people, to create a chilling effect. They think you're going to cower. And they're angry at the information I'm putting out, and Napolitano's putting out, and Ron Paul's putting out, and Chuck Baldwin's putting out, because we're just telling the truth. When the government declassifies that they're recording all the naked body images, and that's now in the news today, when you go through a body scanner, that's common sense that that's wrong. Or when schools are recording kids at home over laptops, that's wrong. Or when Goldman Sachs engineers the banking collapse to consolidate power and loot the economy, and it's mainstream news. Of course, we said it years ago, so now we've got credibility. That's why they're coming after us, because we're focused, we're well-spoken, we're constitutionalist, we're real Americans, we're the good guys. And this signifies and 100% shows that the system is going to come in with oppression and real tyranny, hot tyranny, not cold, creeping tyranny, but really oppressive tyranny. When they start calling for arrest. I mean, that's what the Nazis did. They said arrest people that criticize the government. That's treason. We'll be right back to continue and break down the bank's big final move to take over society. For 14 plus years, I analyzed the merger of the military and the police, the cameras, the cell phones being tracked in live time, the warrantless wiretapping, the training military and police were being given, declassified and leaked government documents that were confirmed to be bona fide and authentic. And it was 100% clear then that a classical oppressive tyranny, similar to Communist China, Soviet Russia, Nazi Germany, East Germany under the Soviets after 45, was being set up. That was 100%. But now we have the John Warner Defense Authorization Act. Now we have the Patriot Act, and I've read both. We've covered them here on air. Now we have the Federal Governor's Commission. Now we have the training documents. Now we have the White House memos. Now we have the Army field manuals. And it's more than 100%. It is a joke how much evidence we have that a high-tech classical tyranny, so a tyranny with a high-tech overlay, is being set up. And now we know they're beginning to pull the trigger on how these are rolled out. How the czars did it, how the Nazis did it, how the communists did it after the czars, by staging terror attacks and provocateuring groups as a pretext to go after the population, the legitimate population that says, no, you're not going to rob us. You're not going to carry out the criminal looting. That's all tyranny is. Powerful interests get in and start robbing the hell out of people. And they get away with it for decades, and they get worse and worse and worse, and then more and more evil people compete with each other until in the final round, you get a Hitler, you get a Stalin, you get a Mao, you get a Julius Caesar, you get a Pol Pot. And they have studied, and they brag. They call it the final revolution, a scientific tyranny. They have studied how this has been done in other countries, and they've got high-tech PR and mind control and conditioning and propaganda and spin. And now they're coming out and saying, okay, Homeland Security is for the American people. And you are the #1 threat. And we're going to lie about you and say you're violent, and we're going to tell our attack dogs that you want to kill them, and our attack dogs are going to come and they're going to kill you. And so they're out in the open saying, look, we're going to start a fight with you. We've already told everybody you're a terrorist. Now we're going to take everything you got. And if you even criticize what we're doing, we're going to eat your lunch. Now, if you give in to this intimidation, if you let this chill you, because I'm being honest about what they're doing, and that's scary, but I believe more in you than the globalists do. They believe you're cowards. They believe you're weak. They're going for broke because they think they can win, and they're even accelerating it faster because they're starting to get scared, going, whoa, this, they're standing up more than we thought they would, and they're figuring things out. And so that's making them even pile more oppression and intimidation onto this. And so we are at the crossroads, and all of you have to make the decision. If you're a cop listening, look, you don't have to believe me, officers. If you just not go bowling tonight, or not take your girlfriend out tonight, or not go to the shooting range, or whatever it is you're going to do tonight, and if you just go research what I'm telling you. Then you'd find out I was telling you the truth and you could do something about it. Now, most of you already know this is true, and you're making a subconscious decision to keep your head down and just go with the flow. If you do that, you're going to look back on this time years from now, and you're going to wish to heaven you'd have done something different. Because this is the most vicious, systematic evil I have ever seen in world history. And I've studied history. As Dr. Roberts, former Wall Street Journal editor, father of Reaganomics, historian, very intelligent, said he's analyzed this, This is the most duplicitous, calculated, focused evil ever upon the planet. And it's not even our government. It's this corporate management structure worldwide that is doing this. And we are now at that juncture. We could be days, weeks, months, I'm not sure, away from massive terror attacks. And again, the government's preparing with the propaganda for nuke attacks. You've seen them. Then they just shut down all the major communications, and they wouldn't even have to kill me because I won't be on air. You won't be on the internet. And they've gutted whole civilizations. I mean, they'll do it. They'll do it. And that's why now, while we can still talk, we need to get the word out, scream bloody murder from the rooftops, never stop.